Well, I'm delighted to say I'm joined by Ryan Crombie, who writes for the Red Point of View, an Aberdeen fan who clearly is looking on, like so many of us, and wondering how it's all going to end up on League Cup semi-final day. First of all, from an Aberdeen perspective, what do you think are the greater injustices with the scheduling of the games, Ryan?
Well, thanks for having me on. First of all, I do think that it is a bit of a shambles, to be honest, from the people who organise our game in Scotland. The fact that, more so from my point of view, the fact that the police sort of said that they wanted the Aberdeen Rangers game to go first even seems just a bit strange. Treated a bit like savages, our football fans, and to get at your bed at 6 a.m. in the morning and get a train down, which would get you an after kickoff on the Sunday for the semi final. It's just ridiculous, and I think they need to be held to account a bit more.
Just picking up on that point, I mean, everybody looked at the schedule, looked at the trains and realised, well, this is not helpful. It is, of course, a spectator sport. If they were to try and come up with a solution to get around that, do you think putting on special match day football trains would appease Aberdeen fans? Or is it indeed the fact that, you know, the imposition is you have to get up really early to make a long journey for this one?
Yeah, well, I mean, we have been in this situation before. I mean, I think this will be the third year in a row that Aberdeen will have been asked to travel to Hampden for a 12:15 kickoff. Well, 12 this time round, but it's been 12:15 the last few years. And special trains have been put on. Obviously, they cost more because ScotRail need to pay for them to put them on. And it's all just a bit of an inconvenience. And while it would appease Aberdeen fans, I think it's just the continual sort of disregard for Aberdeen fans to be able to get to the game. And as Aberdeen said in their statement, they've continually asked the SPFL and SFA not to schedule early games for Aberdeen to allow the fans to get to the games, and they just seem to keep disregarding Aberdeen fans in general, and it's worrying.
This has fallen on deaf ears, obviously. Aberdeen are not happy. Hearts are certainly just as angry in Edinburgh about this whole situation. What do you think should have happened with this scenario of the semi-finals?
If we had competent organisers, I don't think we should be in this scenario at all, given the fact that it just takes a look of the calendar to realise that Europa League group games would have been on this week. So you would have to suggest, are they undervaluing our game in Scotland by not even predicting that at least one of the teams would be in the Europa League group stages? But we are in this situation now, so you have to kind of find a solution. Aberdeen didn't seem too happy, Hearts as well, that not enough was done to explore other possibilities of playing the game at Murrayfield and sort of taking away the contractual agreement. I definitely think, as the sort of solution to a lot of people, the solution a lot of people have suggested is playing the Hearts Celtic game the week after, given the fact they actually play each other next week in the league. It seems to be the sensible solution.
The last point I'm going to make here, and it's rather disheartening to make it, but people say that we're tempting fate here with four groups of supporters all in the city, you know, heading, albeit at different times, to Hampden Park, but they will be in the city at some point during that entire day. Are we asking for, is it a recipe for disaster?
From my point of view, no. I think these kind of things are usually overstated. I mean, football fans, as I said, are not savages. They are just normal people in everyday life. And if they see each other in the street, 99.9% of times there's not going to be an incident. I think the main thing from this is obviously just the logistical point of view, and obviously the operations point of view in terms of teams and all that kind of thing getting to stadium rather than any problems over trouble. Obviously, the safety of fans needs to be a priority, and the police and all that kind of thing are spoken to. But I don't think at all that there is going to be a sort of the mass brawl or trouble that the people are predicting.
Ryan, I couldn't have put it better myself. I've got to leave you with a final thought from an Aberdeen perspective. Confident of making it into the final?
Absolutely.